Yes, my name is Ariane Campbell. I'm AmeriCorps Vista, serving with the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore with the National Park Service at Polly Douglas Center for environmental education. That's a long way of saying that I work here in Gary, serve here in Gary, predominantly for environmental stewardship, trying to help people understand the importance and the impact they have on the environment. I was born here in Gary. I'm the oldest of three. We are all like super duper close in age. And while I grew up out in Glen Park, most of my earliest memories are from Miller. I grew up not too far from here over on Jasper Street till I was about 10, and then my parents moved over to Glen Park to a larger house, and that's where we were until I was probably like 25 or something like that. When I was like in middle school, that's around the first time you started hearing about Gary being the myrtle capital of the world. And that a lot of people my generation, I think, were definitely pushed to leaving the area. They didn't see a whole lot of good coming out of Gary, and they didn't want students who were here who had some potential to get drugged down by it. That was their thinking. On top of that, I also just didn't really fit in. I've always been kind of an odd duck. I'm weird, and I'm okay with it now, but when I was like 12, 13, 14, 15, it wasn't okay then. And so finally I got my mom's permission to go to boarding school. I was looking at like middle school, and I got accepted, but she didn't let me go till my junior year, at which point I went to a boarding school that takes you at your junior and they take you, you apply your sophomore year, you go in at your junior year, called the Indiana Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Humanities. It's a boarding school for students. You live on Ball State campus, and essentially you take classes like high school classes, but I mean, it's preparing you for college. I recently graduated last summer, and since then I have become at AmeriCorps Vista. I was getting the opportunity to serve at the Polly Douglas Center, a place I remember going to for field trips. I love the dunes. It's a fantastic, wonderfully beautiful area. It's one of the things about this place that I've always loved and missed whenever I would come back and visit from other parts of the state. I always wanted to make sure I got a chance to go see the beach, that I got a chance to walk through some of the trails out here, because I just thought they're just magical, I guess would be the best way to use it, I guess. In the meantime, a little extra stuff. I am currently also a professional wrestler. I am technically ring announcing is what I do for the majority of the time. I've been doing that for about 3 years. But my soon-to-be husband, we're getting married in July. When I met him, I started hanging out with him and his wrestling friends at wrestling practices, putting up the ring in the backyard and everything like that. And they finally got it to place, at which point I started working. I've done like maybe about 4 or 5 matches now, and I ring announce consistently since then. So long story short, it's important to do what you want, do what you like, do what makes you feel good. And about this area in general, I found when I came back that it's important to put pride in order to get pride out. If you want to feel like this area is doing something for you, then part of it is about you doing something for it.